Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video, it is going to be the two absolute best builds for Valby in the first Descendant. So without further ado guys, let's get right on into today's video. Before we do that though, real quick, my creator code is going to be on screen right now and my Discord server is also linked in the description, so please do check them out. Now with all of that out of the way, let's actually get on into today's video. So because I am going to be explaining two different builds, I'm going to start off with the components of this build that will stay the same. So first of all, let's go on over the external components. So for the external components, we are going to be using the Slayer set. Now for the Slayer set, you're going to want something like the following, and it is going to go something like this. So you're going to want max HP and MP recovery out of combat on your power. Next up, you're going to want max MP and recovery in combat on your sensor. And then for your memory, you are going to want the MP recovery modifier. Now all three of these working in harmony is going to increase your max HP, MP, and your MP is going to scale significantly nicer with this modifier. For your second stat, either defense or resistance, electric resistance is perfectly good for your memory. And then for your processor, toxin resistance, shield recovery modifier, max shield are all very, very good as well. So we are using Slayer set because we are going to get the power boost from this set. Now next component is going to be our weapon, and that is going to be the Peacemaker. So this is a hand cannon which you can farm from Gluttony, and the most important part of this is not even going to be the core. The only thing that you actually need are the base rolls on this weapon to be rounds per magazine for more ammo in your mag, and then damage to Colossus to of course do more damage to the Colossus. Now that is the important bit of this Peacemaker. Now for the build, we are going with something stupidly simple. So it is just Defense Master for more defense, just as a save me type of thing when you defeat an enemy. And then it's just Fire Rate and Compulsive Mag for extra magazine. And then rounds are also going to be increased with Expand Weapon Charge for more magazine capacity. As you can tell, this is going to work similarly to Lepic's weapon or Haley's sniper. So this is essentially how we are going to build this for Valby. So now that we've gone on over the components that are going to stay the same, let me go on over the two builds and the two reactors, because those will be the components of this build that will be changing. So starting off, let's have a look at the build. So this is going to be a critting a laundry bomb build for Valby's fourth ability. Now this is not just a laundry bomb build, this is also going to be a bubble bullet build. So both of these abilities are going to scale significantly with this style of build, and I'm going to give you the gameplay, run you and show you everything, so just bear with me on this. Now, with Valby, her abilities are Fusion and Non-Attribute. So first of all, we are going to throw all our boosts into that. So we've got Focus on Fusion with that. So obviously for Fusion, and then Cooldown, and then Fusion Amplification for more Fusion, and this is negative crit rate. Same with Non-Attribute power buff, and then negative crit damage, and then focus on non-attribute for more cooldown as well as non-attribute. Now the few other modules that we are running is duration and range, so skill expansion and skill extension. Next up for range as well, we are also using amplification control, and then we're also getting extra shields out of this for more survivability. Now the last module on here is going to be Nimble Fingers for more cooldown, so we can spam our first ability. And then the last module is Dangerous Ambush. Now if we're using this for bossing, this is going to give you plenty of damage in a squad. If you are playing this solo, again, once the boss is immobilized, you will still get extra damage. Now your maneuvering module is completely optional. I like to use long distance, just my personal preference. You can use whichever one you want. Now this is the non-critting style of this build. So let me talk about the reactor real quick. So for the reactor, you are going to want something of the following. You are going to want to make the optimization condition the hand cannon, because we are using the Peacemaker with this. For your two stats in the middle, you want non-attribute and fusion. And then for the two stats at the bottom, this is where it changes a little bit. As you can see, I'm using a reactor with skill crit damage and damage to the Colossi. Now if you are using this non-critting build, you are going to want to get skill duration up and damage to the Colossi. That would work quite nicely. Alternatively, if you're planning on surviving, you might want to go with skill cooldown and damage to the Colossi. So that is going to be the main parts for this reactor. Now for the gameplay, let me show you a few clips. So we are going to spam all of our abilities right off the start of the mission. That is just so that we are able to build up as much damage as we can due to the inversion reinforcements. Now this, like I said, is going to do a ton of damage. Now the reason you would use a non-crit build is because on solo it scales better and it is more consistent with the damaging ticks. Now the critical counterpart, which I will get into shortly, doesn't have this as much. Now as you can see here, I'm just letting it go. I'm just using the number 1. I'm using the bubble bullets. So this is literally how fast you can get it to go, simply with the bubble bullets. So let me show you what it's like when we actually use the laundry bomb now. The purpose of the laundry bomb build is just there to be a damage over time. Now, the way that I have gone about this at least is I prefer to play it as the following. I don't mind doing the laundry bomb and then spamming the one bubble. Then when you die, which you are going to inevitably because this is a glass cannon build, you will still have plenty of damage over time as you are dead. Now let me show you a quick example of me up against a Defiler using this exact principle. Okay, so this is gameplay that one of my best friends, Choco, has sent me because I absolutely suck and he's the better Valby than me. So in this gameplay, you can see on screen right now, what he does is he will just keep moving. He will ensure that he keeps spamming his one ability, his bubble bullets, and he's just keeping moving and making sure that the Defiler is walking within the water. Now, once the Defiler does get enraged like this, for example, you will just roll into his feet and just spam your laundry bomb. This is great because, like I say, damage over time, and the more he walks into it, because he will keep gravitating towards you, you just want to keep moving. And as you can see here, the Defiler is already almost dead, and now he's just taken a knock. So again, just standing there, vibing, letting your number 1 ability take care of the rest. So as you can see here, we took down the Defiler in a stupid fast amount of time. Intercept successful, and if we have a look at the time, that was 39 seconds. That is an example of a very good run, meaning this is a great solo strat, and this works in everything else as well. Now you can see that he is using the bossing build, and you can see that his reactor is maxed out and is the ideal stats for this. Now let me show you the second part of this build, and that is going to be the critical counterpart of this build. Now for the critical hit version of this build, you are essentially going to be changing these modules basically for the same reason. Now we're going to keep the focus on modules, so we're going to still get extra cooldown out of these. Now instead of having the non-attribute amplification and the fusion amplification, we are instead going to replace it with crit mods. So in this instance, we've replaced it with skill insight and skill concentration. Then the rest of the mods also stay the same. Apart from amplification control, we've decreased our range in order to get even more crit damage with front lines. So that is essentially the difference between these two modules. Now, running this solo, this is what you are going to want to run with this exact build. However, if you are running in a squad and you do have a Luna on your team, instead of running skill insight, you can replace this for emergency measures, because a Luna is going to have your back and give you extra crit damage. So this is all you need. And you can just run with emergency measures, meaning you're running with all 4 crit mods, and this is going to be a much better option. Now I am going to do some runs myself, so I'm going to show you the gameplay of these runs. But before I do that, let me show you the reactor. Now for the reactor, this is actually ideal. You are going to again want the hand cannon, you're going to want the non-attribute skill boost and the fusion boost in the middle. Then for the bottom, you are going to want skill crit damage and damage to the Colossus. That is ideally going to work. The duration would also work as well, but just if you want as much damage to do as much upfront damage as you can, you're gonna want the skill critical hit damage. So in this gameplay, I am up against the Molten Fortress, again with 2 Lunas. Now I am using, like I said, emergency measures instead of skill insight. But over here, this is essentially what happens. Now my Valby is level 1, which means I can literally not survive a single hit, but that doesn't stop me over here. Now you can see here with Luna, every ability tick is a literal crit with Valby, and damage over time is the main focus of this build. Had I just died and respawned, I would have been able to do it all over again. And it's as simple as that. Now, like I said, this build will work with everything, including Defiler, so you can literally do everything with this build. Again, with this gameplay, I just want to emphasize that again, you don't even need your 4th ability. You can see here, I'm just spamming the 1 ability with Valby for all of the bubbles, and you can still see the Molten Fortress's health absolutely shooting all the way down. It's an incredible build, and backed up with a Luna, you can duo absolutely everything in this game. Now, I know that you will want to be running the Defiler as a duo with these Valbys. Now, I do recommend against that. Now, it is possible for you to get the wins and stuff with the Defiler, however, it is just significantly more time efficient solo. The main issue with the Defiler, in my opinion, is that he's just not balanced for group play. Fighting him solo is more efficient than fighting him duo. The only way you'd ever beat this efficiency is if you were to use 3 Ines, or maybe 2 Ines, a Valby, and a Luna. Now, going back to my main point here, you can see me and my man Choco running the Defiler again, and this run is absolutely scuffed to say the least. Now, we are both very much aware of the mechanics, and we are both very in tune, and we do both understand this fight very well. We've ran it both countless times, so you know, we know the ins and outs of this boss. It's just that his behavior is a little bit too unpredictable when you are playing duo or when you are playing a squad. Now, on top of that, you can see that this is still decent gameplay, and you are able to do this, but just save yourself the trouble and honestly go solo. Now, in this gameplay, I am using the build that I showed in the earlier aspect of this video, the non-critting build. So this is essentially how it goes and why I recommend against Defiler. I thought I'd just include this entire run at the end of the video, because I know that there are going to be tons of people saying stuff like, you know, this is great, and gonna be trying this out. Now, you are able to do this with a Luna and a Valby, and we have had some success with that, except my my PC just didn't record it because my editing software was having a seizure because of all the particles on screen. But you can see here, we're about to take my man down. Choco is going in with the laundry bomb. I'm going in with the laundry bomb, and this run is just going left and right and everywhere. Having Valby all over the screen is absolutely great. Not my first time in this rodeo, but there you go. You can see I've just used my first ability, because that is how you want to be playing this. You just want the damage over time. But that's basically how you would play this if you were to, for whatever reason, want to suffer and do a duo run. So guys, that's basically me in this video, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you do have any other suggestions about the Valby build or anything else of the sort, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I would love to hear it. So yeah, that's been this video. These two builds are insane. 39-second Defiler is completely possible, and this build just deletes everything in the game. So make sure to use it, drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!